introduction.
Well, it's another episode of Dim Sumdays. I'm Connor. This is Amanda. Welcome back to our car here in the heart of Seattle, Washington. It's another episode. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing good. Go ahead, Connor, and audience. Ask me why I'm sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah, we're actually flipped this week. It's a little different. But so why are you over there this week? I feel like it's more fitting for you to be over there.
Well, we've been through a saga, and I feel like we need to tell people about this saga.
It has been a saga.
We decided, we're like, okay, we're going to go back to our roots, dim sum. We're going to go to Joyale because that's where we used to go with our friends, and that's that place we haven't gone yet. So we're like, all right, let's go to Joyale. So we placed the order for pickup because the website was down. The website was actually available on GoDaddy.com. And so we placed our order on DoorDash. And it says, great, confirming, whatever. We make our way down to there, and the garage, it's dead empty. So now we are worried that Joyale is not open. But I open up DoorDash, and DoorDash says, hey, your order's ready for pickup. Great, everything's fine in the world again. Wrong! Joyale was not open.
Well, it was the creepiest thing because, the parking lot's empty on the entry floor. So we go down to the third floor and there's a few cars there. And then I pretty much walk out. The elevator is not working. So I can't ride in the elevator. So I go all the way to the front of the building. Every single door is locked to get into the building. There's like a Vietnamese bakery on the corner of the Pacific Rim building. I walk through there. It goes into the alleyway and I get to the entrance. It's locked up. And then all the lights are off and they say our order's ready. And so, I had to cancel the order. It was a little creepy to be in there because all the businesses are empty.
Oh, really?
And, there's like 2 businesses operating in that whole building.
For sure, we were not the only people that were trying to order dim sum from Joyale, but we also forgot today is Easter, so happy Easter or Passover, whatever you celebrate. So we're like, oh, maybe that affected it. So we're like, okay, we got to find a dim sum place. So we looked up we drove around looking for another dim sum place, and then Connor goes, should we just go with the classics? Let's go to my favorite noodle shop, Hukaimi Guy.
Hukaimi Guy, roll the tape! Hukaimi Guy. So yes, Hukaimi Guy. You know more about Hukaimi Guy than I did, but you introduced me to Hukaimi Guy years ago when they were only that one little spot in Little Saigon, and now at least last time I checked, they'd had a few different locations pop up, and they were in the stadium at one point. I don't know if they're in the stadium now.
This was a spot like my parents discovered, and then they took us to, and then we have just been going for years, and it got to the point where like my mom and dad were like on a friendly name basis with the people that ran it, and then they opened up different ones on the east side, and they opened one up in the stadium. It was like very popular. And so since my parents have moved, we haven't gone there very often, but every now and again I like to call it my dry noodle spot because you get it dry noodles, you get it dipping style.
And that's what we got today.
Yeah, every now and again when I like to rub it in my parents' face that I live in a better food city than they do, dry noodles.
This is the spot.
They always know. I'm like, guess what I'm having for lunch? And they're like, and that's their reaction.
And so when I walked in to go pick up the food, you called in the food, very easy.
10 minutes.
When you go to Hukaimi Guy in the International District, the parking is a madhouse. They have, it's in this tiny little shopping center, and then you have to there's never any spots available in the top parking lot, so you got to go with this underground parking lot that is just extremely narrow and very tight to get your car into. And so that's why we actually drove down the street and we're parked on the side street. The light's a little better than doing it inside a parking lot. But let's start out with the part that Amanda has been waiting for.
When you drive with the smell of like these amazing chicken wings that I've eaten for years now, like the smell, your mouth starts to salivate. I felt like I was okay, and then I just got really hungry just smelling this. You ever have that where you like smell a smell of food and you're like, oh, I'm so hungry.
All right, so here are the chicken wings. And it always comes with that like sweet and sour sauce, which is the best part. I don't know if you don't really like eat it.
I don't
very
get
much
to eat
with
it
us.
because I like eating the chicken wings. By the time I remember there's sauce, it's gone.
The sauce is like so good. This
Let's do this one.
doing the rip method.
This one has a hole, so please tilt it. They're smart. They put a hole in the styrofoam box so that way the air can it doesn't get soggy.
Yeah, the steam gets out.
The steam gets out.
All right, do I get one?
You get two, because I don't want to hear you asking for another one while my mouth is full.
All right, so while you get in your mouth full, I'll let her take a bite. This weekend was really interesting for us because it was pretty much the first time we had a person inside of our house. Amanda, as you know, has got her double dose down, and her friend Tanya, who is a teacher, also is double dose, which is my term now. She came and stayed with us, and it was just very interesting to have a person staying in our house for a weekend, and but very nice, very like nice to have a hug, right? It's the first hugs we've really given in a year. So, what do you have to say? What was it like for you, or what do you have to share about the experience?
It was interesting. I think like with quarantine, it's very much like 2-3 hours you hang out, you go do social distance hangout, and then you like retreat back into your comfort zone of your home. And to have someone come and stay was like a completely different experience. It's kind of like you have this like your immediate knee-jerk reaction is like, okay, we're done, like I'll see you guys later, see you in like a week or two. And it's like, no, she's here to hang out and she's fully vaccinated, and we took all the precautions, we ate outside as much as possible, and so we didn't like completely negate everything, right? But we were enjoying each other's company, and we ate 64 oysters, which doesn't even come close to our record.
Where did you eat oysters from?
We ate oysters everywhere. We ate oysters at White Swan Public House. We ate oysters at Elliott's. We ate oysters at Salty's. We ate oysters everywhere. We honestly would have eaten more oysters, but we like didn't get the chance or opportunity. So next time. But it doesn't beat our current record, which is with Sydney and Tanya together, and myself. Connor did not join us, but all three of us in one sitting ate 75 oysters. So my goal is next time for her to come join us for Oyster New Year, and then we're just gonna keep circling around eating all you can eat oysters, and it's just gonna be the best time in the world.
Yeah, I'll link up for those watching the video, the Oyster New Year video right here.
Oh,
a lot of fun.
So good.
A lot of fun.
But yeah, it was great to have like this weird sense of normalcy. It almost it wasn't like anxiety inducing, but it was like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this. No, it's fine. We're vaccinated. Oh my goodness, we're still in a pandemic. Oh no, it's fine. We're vaccinated and we're taking precautions. Like it's just this roller coaster of emotions. And so I think it's a really good trial run for how we'll feel when we go see my parents, or my parents come see us, or when other friends come visit or come stay with us. It's just it's a nice trial run. And
All
Tanya's
right, Miss
just
Trial
pleasant.
Run. Yeah, she is great. My
Love
real
you.
question, where I wanted to get to with this long story,
Sorry.
when things start going back to normal, this is the question of the day. What are you most looking forward to? Like, what's the thing that you haven't been able to do in a year that you're really looking forward to safely doing again soon?
Man, I miss going to Sounders matches.
Yeah, nice jersey.
Thank you. This is the new 2021 kit. I miss going to Sounders matches. I miss like that experience of like having that be not a weekly, but pretty frequent cadence.
For me, it's weekly.
For you, it's weekly. But we were like going on a pretty regular cadence, and it was like good to go see our friends, good to go see a Sounders match.
Yeah, shout out to the Sounders crew. Good
to eat like my $2.50 hot dog. Like I had a routine where I was getting a hot dog like at least once a week from the stadium. It was the best. So I really miss that experience and like being able to like all rally with the Sounders and be there in person. I miss I miss a lot of things.
Okay, well, what?
I miss eating with my friends in a restaurant, like, and just being like, hey, meet you at Elliott's and let's go have oysters. Like, we can still do that now, but you always have that, like, second guessing of, like, oh, should I or could I do this? Or is this something I want to do? I don't know.
Yeah. I think you said that last week on the show.
Did I?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
The thing that I really miss is just going to a coffee shop and sitting in the coffee shop for an hour or two and, drinking the coffee out of a mug in the shop. I don't know why there was always just something nice to like have the, oh, I'm drinking it here feeling. And just being able to like sit and work and be in a different environment. I mean, I was working out at coffee shops 4 or 5 days a week. I was at a coffee shop almost every day somewhere in the city, and that's really like part of a lot of the businesses I was featuring, especially early on in Find Me in Seattle. And I just can't wait to do that again, to like feel safe, to be like, oh, I'm gonna go. I've got 4 hours in the afternoon today. I'm gonna go to Rainier Beach, and I'm gonna go find a coffee shop, and I'm gonna work and feature a business from there.
How many steps were you taking at your peak of like neighborhood travel?
Like 20,000. I was doing like 10 miles a day.
And then and then how many steps are you doing now?
Like 2,000 if I don't exercise. If I exercise, I can get 10,000. But
yeah, but that speaks to like how much you were traveling and like going to all the neighborhoods and supporting all those businesses and checking in with all those neighborhoods.
There'd be days where I would take the bus up to Green Lake, and then I would walk all the way from Green Lake down to downtown Seattle throughout the day. And I just stop into businesses on that like whole walk all day. And that was great. I was like, just a great time of my life. And hopefully I'll get back to that here eventually soon. All right. That's that segment of the show. Story of the week. Let's transition into a little bit. Let's talk about your beef of the week, Amanda, because I know we're always in the car looking at the cars in front of us, and Amanda has a very particular thing that she tends to notice. And what is that, Amanda?
Well, this really started with Rachel. Rachel, if you're watching this, partially it's your fault. The only times I have ever gotten a parking ticket is with Rachel. 3 times I've gotten a parking ticket in like Fremont, U Village. It's with Rachel. And the most recent parking ticket I got was because my tabs were expired. Now this was like a couple years ago. This is a while ago, but my tabs were expired. And now I am so vigilant about other people's tabs because I think it's the most stupidest ticket I could get. I understand why, but it's stupid. So now I've noticed that people on their on their license tabs will put, there's a month and then a year. That's just how Seattle tabs work. It's a month and a year, right? Depending on what month you bought your car, that's the month it settles on. Mine is August. So my license, there's 2 spots, a month and a year. And most often what we see is people put year and year. They like mess up 2020 and they put 2020 over on the month, and then they're like, oh, my bad, so I'll put 2021 on the actual year. So now there's 2020, 2020, or reverse. You just put years on both, and it's technically, I've looked this up, it's technically a violation, but it's more of a warning, like you need to go get a new sticker rather than like a ticket offense. But yeah, why do you do that? There's a month. There's very clearly a month.
I at first was like, oh, that one car, it was probably an accident. But Amanda likes to point it out every single time. She also is an avid pointer-outer of people with expired tabs, which there's a lot of people right now with those. And now that you've pointed it out, there's a lot of people who make that mistake, who take the year and don't cover up the old year. They cover up the month, and they just have 2 years. Yeah.
The oldest one we've seen in terms of like license tab expiration, I kid you not, it was in Lower Queen Anne. It was right by that Taco Bell. And that tab was expired in 1973. And we looked and we were like, no, that's not real. No new car registration piece of paper taped in the back window. It was just 1973. It's when it was registered.
All right, y'all. We are crushing these chicken wings. Correction, Connor is crushing these chicken wings.
I have a lot of stories.
I've gone through a few. Amanda is on her second one. They are so unbelievably delicious, though. Highly, highly recommend. Some of the best chicken wings. They're like very garlicky that I like, and just the fried is nice and not like overbearing. I'm curious what this audio is going to sound like because I feel like I'm eating these chicken wings directly into the microphone. So that might be a little intense for you guys.
All you hear is like crunch, 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 crunch.
All right. Well, as we're eating these chicken wings, I think that you should start transitioning to the next food item that we have, and I will transition here into a little bit of a story. This week we've been watching more TV. We have like a really strong TV routine of like late at night from like 10 p.m. to midnight, we have a routine of watching television of some sort. Which is funny because for a long time, especially like starting my business, it was always about like, that's like prime hours to like get ahead and get a little bit of extra work done, especially like if I gotta like make videos or something like that. And with this past year, it's been like, oh, that's like time fully dedicated to rest and like chilling. One of us isn't on their phone, and another one over here likes to be on her phone all the time. But what we watched this week was Godzilla vs. Kong. It was a big thing that came out on HBO. And so this is like a culmination of 2 series. Everyone's familiar with King Kong and Godzilla, but they've had these updated movies that have been coming out the last couple of years.
They've been pretty epic.
Yeah, and they finally collide in a pretty epic battle between the two. You didn't like it as much as I did, but I thought it was entertaining and fun. And if you have HBO, it's free. If the bigger screen you have, definitely the better the movie, yes. I would say.
Yeah.
But it gets a little wild into like traveling almost like between dimensions.
Well, we're not going to give anything away. Obviously, you should watch it. We recommend it because it's free.
Do you recommend? Oh, okay, that's why.
Because it's free, and we're in a Patricia, so why not? But my complaint is that it felt like 2 different storylines that they were trying to weave together to make one storyline. But it was kind of like I get it, but also there's an easier explanation for this than trying to weave it into
was there?
This. Yeah.
Amanda and I significantly disagree on this topic of this movie.
Honestly, I thought there was.
I don't know how you combine a giant Godzilla that lives in the water, who comes out to save the day against other monsters, and then a giant, is he gorilla? He's a gorilla that is, how big? As big as a building, climbs on buildings, historically kidnapped the pretty lady of the city. And how do you get them to combine and fight and understand kind of origins and everything? I think they had to go into that level of conspiracy. Is conspiracy the right thing?
Yeah. It just was very interesting. It was one of those like, I get it, but I feel like there could have been a better avenue to get to the plot line or the finale of the plot line. So,
hey, remember when we were supposed to talk about the next food item?
You started talking about King Kong versus Godzilla.
Amanda. All right, I guess I will start talking about it. You can see it here on the screen. Amanda's other favorite item, what she mentioned earlier in the intro, are the dry noodles from Hukaimi Guy. You can get these with soup noodles, but it comes with the soup separate. I actually have no clue. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to eat this here. That's actually why I prompted you at the last question to set this one up, because I know this might take a little bit.
Sometimes, you guys, the prompts are sometimes too subtle. Like, I'm here watching with you, and I heard the prompt, but I didn't connect the dots, so that's what he wanted.
Those chicken wings are mine. Thank you.
You get 2 chicken wings?
Thank you.
This is bullshit. This is why we have a women's equality payday, because this is the same thing.
I'll let you get away with that sarcasm in this episode right now.
There are cutlery. I don't know if I told you this.
Do you need it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna put it up there. Oh, yeah, we definitely need it because they give you the Asian soup spoon. Do you need this?
No, but you're swooshing all over this microphone.
Well, that was you the other day with those plastic containers.
Doing a food show in your car
is really hard. I've tried to tell Connor that we need to invest in that steering wheel lap tray.
I know, we told everyone here too.
Listen,
all right, Amanda, what now are you prepared to eat?
I am now eating...
We bite each other's face off in this episode.
In M1, it is beef chasu noodles. Noodles. And noodles. There are noodles in there, I promise. And then we're going to dip it into... we can put it in there.
So how does it work? If you were dining in, how would you eat this dish?
I actually like to have soup in instead of dry noodles or dipping style. I like the soup in because it gives you more soup and gives it a lot of time to like...
You need more soup?
Well,
That's a lot of soup.
when you're doing dipping style in the restaurant, you only get like a small one of those like small rice bowls.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you only get a little bit, but I like for it to just like, there's a lot of like a pork belly fat here and garlic and scallions and other things that need to soak in the soup to make the soup like more flavorful. So that's why, personal preference. You ask my dad, he would say dipping style, but me, I'm all about that soup. There are so many new drivers out. There's like, that car has a new driver sticker on it. I feel like yesterday we saw a bunch of new two separate, y'all. A bunch of new driver stickers, and I just want to notice that. Acknowledge. I'm glad people are taking the opportunity for these empty-ish streets to learn how to drive.
I'm taking the opportunity to see how you're going to eat this food right now.
I know. I'm making my little chopstick holder. And then, okay, here we go. My hands are clean.
My hands aren't, and I got them all over this phone. So, all right,
my
Amanda,
phone.
while you're open that, I'm going to start first, but then you can take yours next. The next topic in the show is the best thing that we saw on the internet this week.
Yes.
Please eat some food, and then
I'm
you can go into your story.
Food. He's mad because I'm hangry right now.
All right, so the best thing I saw on the internet was a tweet, and it's the tweet that I saw from, I'm not sure where this person got it from, was at Tommy Rainmaker, and he said, use these for wedding vows. I'm just a Guy Fieri looking for his girl Fieri. Flame emoji. Let's turn this flavor town into a flavor home. And I just thought that was so silly and so clever and so funny.
Clever.
It was just like, I'm dying. I wouldn't say like, I don't know too much about Guy Fieri, but I appreciate that you're my girl Fieri. And we're building this flavor home right now.
It kind of reminds me of Amy Schumer's comedy movie that she did where John Cena, she was like seeing John Cena, and John Cena's like, I just want you to be my
CrossFit queen.
Oh yeah.
to rule over my CrossFit kingdom. Just like amazing.
All right, so what Amanda's doing is she's pulling these noodles out of the container, and then she's dropping them into the broth, which I think makes a lot of sense.
The broth is in our cup holder right now.
Yes, and the broth is
I think that's enough for right now.
getting close to being at that overcapacity moment.
It is not following social distancing guidelines.
All right, so then are you going to take this,
I want this
giant container of broth and you're going to like eat it normal?
Yeah. That was
You should hold it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The best thing that I saw on the internet is this video.
Do we have a tank that I can drive?
Tank?
Yeah, like a tank that I could ride and drive.
I don't understand what you're talking about, tank.
Like a tank.
We've got that MRAP.
But we don't have a tank that I can drive.
The MRAP's an armored vehicle, but, I mean, it's not running right. I can get it cranked.
But we don't have like a tank.
No, a tank, like with a cannon?
Yeah.
No.
And it's the mayor of Oneonta.
I have been giving Amanda a hard time all week about like, you better be prepared for what this town is even called. Where's
Oneonta in Alabama.
It's in Alabama. All
so
right.
this mayor has started a TikTok that it's called @City of Oneonta. And the mayor is just doing silly pranks on his staff, like the HR person and the chief of police.
So why is this so great?
It's hilarious because this is the kind of like ridiculousness I would expect to return to a workplace. Like I want this level of seriousness for ridiculous requests and have it be just have it be comical. I'm trying to insert humor into the workplace. More small talk, less business.
All right, so try these noodles.
Okay.
I mean, the video is really funny. Just seeing the people's reactions and the requests that he has is just super fun and hopefully well received, right? Because if I was that person on the other side, I might be a little pissed, honestly. I don't know.
Like,
it's one of those times that you want more comedy in the workplace, but everyone's like really tense right now.
And trying to ease that tension because no way excuse me, I'm talking with my mouth full. No way Oniata has a tank.
Well, he said they had like an armored car, so they had an option.
They obviously have some sort of like armored vehicle, but the mayor goes in very specifically and says, "Do we have a tank, like for me to ride around in?"
I know, they saw it.
And it just cracks me up thinking of like that James Franco and Kim Jong Un when they're in the tank and they do like a drive. That's what I envisioned what the mayor of Oniata wanted to do.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us.
All right. Well, now it's time for your favorite part.
I have 2 bites.
What part is next that we always have in every segment of the show?
The next segment.
Everyone's favorite part of Dim Sumdays.
There was a lot of spit take on that. My parents watch this. Shout out to you, Pam and Albert. They always watch Dim Sumdays. They love the feedback and the commentary they get on all of your feedback on their quips. So my mom and dad were like, "Well, we need to be in Dim Sumdays," and I said, "Yeah, Connor wants you to film like an intro with your faces so that you say shit we say." So we were like, okay, well, maybe next time we visit, we'll record like a sequence where you introduce like shit my mom says or shit my parents say. And instead, I got a weird piece of mail. And I was like, I didn't order anything. So who sent this to me? Because sometimes people send me weird things. And I open it up. And it's this.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
And she sent me a cutout of their faces to also be in Dim Sumdays, period. So, shout out, Mom. If you want, like, how quirky are your parents? My parents have sent me a cutout of their faces so that they can be here in our podcast with them.
It's on a stick, and it's, like, solid cardboard. It was great. It was just a fantastic gift, and it took us by surprise. So, they're going to join us here for the back half of the episode. Right there with us, like they're in the back seat.
I legit almost peed my pants when I pulled this out. I was like, no freaking way. So, Pam and Albert, always on a journey with us. I tried to tell Connor, I was like, we're going to take this traveling with us wherever we go now. And he said, really? And I said, yep. So, thanks, Mom and Dad, for the cutout of your faces. Real stoked to have you here with us as a guest.
It's great to have you in the car with us today. We haven't been in the car with you in a long time.
In over a year. Crazy.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, I wish I could have some too.
There you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
You might need to put more in there.
Okay.
So they're joining us here on the show. I'm actually going to work this into the transition video as well. Oh, there was one more thing that we did this week that we thought was really fun, and we would recommend it to you. Amanda puts together this group chat with some of our close friends that all know each other. And all she said was, quick, send me a picture of something starting with the letter B. And before we sent it, Amanda and I made a little bet of the group that we were texting about who was going to text us back first. We bet $1 on it, and whoever texts us back first also got sent $1 on Venmo. So it's completely random. And our friend Matt sent us a picture of...
But the best part was the text said, baseball card? And then a picture of a baseball card.
Baseball card. He also sent a picture of his dog, a burner doodle. And then Leo came just behind in second. It almost came like right after. I can't remember what the beer was, but here it is. It's on screen for you. Sorry, you guys who are just listening to the audio. And it was just such a funny thing to do. They had no clue. They were super confused about what's going on. If they're listening to this, this is probably where they're finding out. But Amanda and I just like made this silly thing. And if you're looking for something silly to do and you're bored, send out a challenge to some of your friends and just be like, quick, send me something B. I think what I'm going to do that on my Instagram. I'm going to ask people to send me something, and then I'll share a bunch of them.
Listen, I just wanted to know which of our friends would respond back first. Kevin, you were excluded because I was literally talking to you while I formulated this plan, so I already knew you were close to your phone, so it didn't count. Sorry, bud. But it was fun to engage with our friends and have them, like, in my brain, they're scrambling around to find something with the letter B. I think maybe next time we'll do colors, or we'll do favorite items. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned. This will be fun. Stay by your phone. Always answer my text messages.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. It's like, oh, when you send the winner $1, it like really locks it in. The priority.
Participation.
The participation dollar, it means a lot.
You don't know when the participation is going to be needed.
Alrighty, well that ends today's show. Thank you so much for joining us as always. Thank you so much to Hukaimi Guy for just being delicious. You can find them at the top of Jackson in the International District. I believe that is technically Little Saigon. Absolutely beautiful right now. Like the International District is full of blooming cherry blossoms.
So pretty.
And so there's just beautiful trees all over the place. It's a nice time in that neighborhood, kind of all over the city. Springtime is really good because we have all those beautiful trees all over. And highly recommend chicken wings, the M1 dry noodles with red pork.
Yeah,
Yep.
with red pork. Go ahead and ask me.
You want steamed bun?
That's the duty of the passenger seat. No, go ahead and ask me for my fun fact
All
of
right,
the day.
Amanda, what's your fun fact of the day?
I didn't have one prepared, and I'm really scared. But I didn't know that it was an interesting, yesterday our friend told us this. An easy way to get rid of stink bugs, and this is not an actual easy way, but an easy way to get rid of stink bugs is you take your stink bug and then you feed it to whatever house spider you have. And and then now you have a pet.
Not a good pro tip. I wouldn't do that. I would just take the stink bug and put it outside.
What if it comes back in?
Are you going to do that?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Giving advice that you aren't going to follow is I've been trying to tell Amanda that the advice that she needs to give. So now I'm going to hold her to that one day. We are going to get a stink bug and a spider, and I'm going to force her to do this because she said it was right. I would not recommend this to you, but this is official recommended advice by Amanda.
Okay, I'm going to do another one. Sorry. This one's way better. So, the way that you can get rid of grease stains, old grease stains, is you have a little bit of baking soda, a little bit of whatever this specific deodorant or laundry bar that Tanya sent me, and you put it in, you soak it in for like 15 minutes.
Do you have that? Have you done this also?
No,
I
but
got a stain that we got to work on.
I know! I've been meaning to do this. I have ordered the soap bar. I'm waiting for this to come through.
Once again, we are no longer going to call this Amanda's tip of the day. This is going to be Amanda's. I haven't tried this, but maybe you will.
If you have a way to get rid of grease stains, Connor has one grease stain. I have a grease stain on a sweatshirt. We don't know how to get rid of it. I've tried washing. So this is reverse Uno, and I need your help. Tips to how to get rid of grease stains.
All right, well, thank you to Amanda very much for joining me. Thank you for driving today. I really appreciate that because I'm a dummy. And good pivot.
Just left your
So
feedback.
sad that we couldn't get that dim sum today.
I know.
But Hukaimi Guy saved the day. Shout out to our new compadres here in the car. Oh, compadres and madres? Does that kind of work? Guess not.
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't speak Spanish, do you?
No, but I do say escúchame.
Yes, you do. All right. Thanks for listening to our ridiculous show. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff if you're interested in doing it, especially if you're watching YouTube. If you got this far in the show, hit that little like button. That means the world to us. And we will see you next week. We have a special Dim Sumdays episode. We're going to do something really fun. It'll be a little different than we normally do. I don't tell her what we're doing anymore. Bye.
Yeah, do we?